Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in silence. The world outside is still, but inside you, there's a quiet restlessness, a subtle sense that something feels off. You can't quite name it, but it's there, that gap between who you are and who you know you could be. You've read the books, listened to the meditations, tried to stay high vibe, but somehow life keeps pulling you back into the same loops, the same emotions, the same reality. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's that you've been taught to search for alignment as if it were something outside of you. The truth is, alignment isn't something you chase, it's something you remember. There is a version of you that already exists in perfect harmony with everything you desire. That version of you isn't waiting in the future, it's vibrating right here, right now, just on a different frequency. And the moment you shift into that frequency, the outer world rearranges itself to match it. This is the essence of the quantum formula for instant alignment, not a process of effort but of awareness. As you listen, take a deep breath and soften your focus. Feel the weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath. You are not here by accident. Something inside you was drawn to this message, a quiet inner intelligence that knows there's more to reality than what you've been taught to see. You are beginning to awaken not through logic but through resonance. Most of us have lived our lives believing we need to get to alignment. We set goals, visualize outcomes, and try to think positive thoughts, hoping that one day we'll arrive at that perfect state where everything flows. But the universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to frequency. And your frequency isn't determined by what you want, it's determined by what you are. Alignment is not an achievement. It's a remembering of your natural state before fear, before resistance, before the noise of the world told you who to be. You might feel that your life has moments where things flow effortlessly, conversations align, opportunities appear, synchronicities seem to guide your steps. And then, without warning, the energy shifts. Things slow down, confusion creeps in, and that connection fades. In those moments, most people panic and try to fix it. But instant alignment is never about fixing anything. It's about recognizing that nothing was broken in the first place. You simply shifted your focus away from what is real into what is temporary. Think of it like tuning a radio. The music was always playing, but if you're slightly off frequency, all you hear is static. You don't need to create the signal, you only need to tune into it. In the same way, your higher self, your quantum self, is already broadcasting the vibration of peace, clarity, and abundance. The static you experience, the confusion, the doubt, the resistance, is just the mind being out of sync with the field. The moment you remember to tune back, the music becomes clear again. This is what instant alignment truly means. It's not about escaping the human experience, it's about remembering your multidimensional nature, that you are both the observer and the observed, both the wave and the particle. The quantum field responds instantly to your vibration, not because it's judging you but because it's mirroring you. When you learn to consciously shift your internal frequency, your external world must follow. So as we begin this journey, let this be your only intention, to stop chasing alignment and start feeling it. Because the formula we're about to explore is not something you'll need to memorize or analyze, it's something you'll experience within your energy as you listen. You are already aligned with the deeper intelligence of the universe. This message is only a reminder. Take another deep breath. Let go of all expectations. You are not here to learn something new, you are here to remember something ancient. The stillness within you has always been connected to the infinite intelligence that shapes worlds. Every thought, every emotion, every sensation is part of that dance. The more you relax into it, the faster your vibration harmonizes with that higher frequency. And when that happens, when you stop trying to control the rhythm and instead let yourself be carried by it, something profound awakens inside you. Life begins to flow through you instead of against you. Synchronicities multiply. People, opportunities, and answers start appearing effortlessly. Not because you worked harder, but because you finally aligned with the version of yourself who never stopped flowing. That is what this journey is about, to remember, to realign, to return to the center of who you truly are. The quantum field is already responding to your awareness in this very moment. The instant you decide to align, reality rearranges to meet you there. You've already begun the process. Now, let's go deeper into the truth of why we fall out of tune, and how to shift back instantly into coherence. Have you ever noticed that even when you do everything right, affirmations, gratitude lists, visualization, meditation, there are still days when it feels like you're disconnected from your flow? You wake up heavy, uncertain, or overwhelmed, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to get back to that aligned feeling. This is what I call the misalignment trap. A cycle that keeps so many people stuck, not because they lack awareness but because they misunderstand how energy truly works. Most of us were conditioned to believe that misalignment happens because of external circumstances. our job, relationships, finances, or even planetary transits. But the truth is deeper. Misalignment begins in the subtle field of consciousness. It starts the moment we identify more with our thoughts than with our awareness. You could think of it as tuning into a distorted frequency. The signal of your higher self is still broadcasting loud and clear, but your attention has shifted toward static, the noise of fear, comparison, doubt, or control. The quantum field does not punish or reward you, it mirrors you. It shows you where your attention truly is. If you hold the frequency of something is missing, reality must reflect that. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it is precise. Energy always matches energy. When your vibration carries the imprint of I am not there yet, your outer world organizes itself to confirm it. You experience delay, struggle, and resistance, not because you are failing but because you are out of coherence with the version of you that already has what you want. Think about the way most people approach change. They try to think their way into alignment. They set intentions, visualize, repeat affirmations, all powerful tools but only when used from the right state of being. If you are affirming abundance while internally feeling scarcity, you're sending mixed signals into the quantum field. It's like trying to watch one channel while broadcasting another. You can't outthink a misaligned vibration. You can only feel your way back into harmony. This is where so many seekers get stuck. They believe alignment is about fixing their vibration. But vibration isn't fixed, it's fluid. You don't repair a river, you release what blocks its flow. Misalignment is not a punishment, it's feedback. It's the universe's way of showing you where you've started resisting life. Every negative emotion, every moment of confusion, is simply an indicator that your perception is out of tune with your true self. When you stop labeling those emotions as bad, and instead see them as signals, you begin to shift back effortlessly. Imagine holding a mirror in your hands. Whatever expression you make, the reflection instantly changes to match it. You wouldn't get angry at the mirror for showing you what you look like. You'd simply adjust your expression. The same applies to reality. Your external life is a perfect reflection of your internal state. If what you see outside feels heavy or misaligned, it's not the mirror that's broken. It's just showing you the energy you're projecting. This realization can feel uncomfortable at first, but it's also deeply liberating. Because it means you no longer have to control the reflection. You only need to adjust your inner frequency, and the outer image must shift to match it. The trap, however, is subtle. The ego loves to identify with being off. It says, I'm stuck. I've fallen back. I've lost my alignment. But the truth is, you can never truly lose alignment. You can only become temporarily unaware of it. The core of you, the consciousness that's observing the thoughts and emotions, never changes. It's eternally aligned, eternally centered, eternally whole. Misalignment is simply when you forget that you are that consciousness, and start believing you are the thought, the struggle, the story. Let's bring this into something more tangible. Think about a moment when you were deeply frustrated. Maybe a plan fell apart, or someone disappointed you, or you felt anxious about your future. Notice what happens inside you in those moments. Your energy tightens, your breath becomes shallow, your awareness collapses into the problem. This is misalignment in motion. When your focus narrows so much that you forget the vast field of possibilities that exist beyond your current perception. The energy you feel as tension isn't life working against you. It's life trying to call you back into awareness. Every emotion is a messenger. When you feel joy, you are in resonance with your expanded self. When you feel resistance, you are being gently nudged to realign. The key is not to fight these emotions but to observe them. Observation without judgment is the doorway to instant alignment. The moment you stop identifying with the turbulence and start observing it, you shift from being the storm to becoming the sky that holds it. The mind, however, loves to complicate things. It wants control. It wants to know how and when. It clings to plans, timelines, and expectations. But alignment cannot be controlled. Control operates from fear while alignment flows from trust. The old self thrives on control because it doesn't yet trust the field. The new self, the aligned self, understands that surrender is not weakness, it's the purest form of power. When you let go of how things should happen, you make space for the quantum field to organize infinite possibilities on your behalf. This is the great contrast that defines the human journey, the old self versus the aligned self. The old self reacts from limitation, believing it must make things happen through effort and struggle. The aligned self responds from coherence, knowing that everything is already unfolding in divine timing. The old self operates in separation, the aligned self moves in unity. One feels like swimming upstream, the other feels like floating with the current. When you begin to understand this, You stop resisting misalignment and start using it as a compass. Every moment you feel disconnected is an opportunity to come back home to yourself. Misalignment doesn't mean you're failing. It means your soul is expanding faster than your perception can keep up. The discomfort you feel is the friction between the frequency you've outgrown and the frequency you are rising into. Once you see it that way, resistance transforms into revelation. The secret is awareness. Awareness is the bridge between misalignment and flow. The instant you become aware of your resistance, without trying to fix it, judge it, or escape it, you've already begun to dissolve it. This is how alignment happens instantly. It's not through doing more but through being more aware. The moment you observe the misalignment, you step out of it. You return to the observer, the consciousness that is eternally in tune. So as we move forward, begin to look at your life not as a series of problems to solve, but as reflections of your current frequency. The more honest you are about where you are energetically, the faster the shift happens. Misalignment isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. And once you understand its language, you realize it was never trying to hold you back. It was trying to guide you home. Now that you can see the mechanics of misalignment clearly, it's time to go deeper. It's time to uncover the exact structure of the quantum formula, the energetic equation that allows you to shift into alignment instantly, no matter what's happening in your outer world. Because once you understand how the formula works, you'll never have to chase alignment again. You'll know how to become it. The quantum formula for instant alignment isn't a process you force. It's a natural unfolding that happens when you reconnect with the core intelligence of the universe, the consciousness that animates everything. This formula isn't mechanical and it isn't linear. It's an energetic pattern that can be felt, experienced, and embodied. It's not about what you do, it's about what you become. And when you understand this, you realize that instant alignment is not a miracle. It's simply physics on a higher level of awareness. The formula can be expressed through three fundamental components: awareness, frequency shift, and quantum synchronization. These three stages aren't steps to follow one by one. They exist simultaneously, blending and interacting with each other like notes in a harmonious chord. Each one represents an aspect of consciousness working together to bring you into coherence with your higher state. Let's move through each of them slowly, not to analyze but to experience the shift as you read. Awareness, the observer's power. Everything begins with awareness. You cannot change what you are unconscious of. Awareness is the silent observer that watches your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. It's the still point from which all manifestation begins. Most people try to fix their outer reality while being unaware of their inner state. They keep adjusting the reflection in the mirror, forgetting that the real shift happens within. When you bring awareness to something, truly bring it, that very act begins to dissolve resistance. Awareness doesn't fight energy, it illuminates it. The moment you become aware of fear, it starts to lose its grip. The moment you become aware of your limiting thoughts, they begin to lose their reality. Awareness is light, and darkness cannot exist in light. This is the first movement of instant alignment, to see without trying to fix. You can practice this right now. Take a slow breath. Notice the air entering your body. Feel the subtle movement of your chest. As you do, notice any tension in your mind or body. Don't label it. Don't resist it. Simply see it. Awareness doesn't need to add meaning, it only needs to witness. When you do this, your energy starts to reorganize naturally. The quantum field responds not to effort but to observation. By watching, you collapse the wave of resistance into the particle of clarity. You become the conscious creator instead of the unconscious reactor. Awareness is the doorway. The moment you step through it, you enter the field of infinite potential. But awareness alone is not enough. It opens the gate, yet something deeper must move through. That next movement is what we call the frequency shift. Frequency shift. The art of tuning in the simplest terms, a frequency shift is a change in emotional vibration. It's the moment when your energy field begins to match the version of you that already exists in alignment. You're not creating that version, you're tuning into it. Imagine infinite versions of yourself existing simultaneously in the quantum field. The peaceful you, the abundant you, the confident you, the healed you. All of them exist now, vibrating at different frequencies. The moment your thoughts, emotions, and body synchronize with one of those frequencies, reality rearranges itself to reflect that version. You've experienced this before, even without realizing it. Have you ever noticed that when you wake up feeling grateful, the day seems to flow effortlessly? People smile, synchronicities happen, time feels lighter? That's not coincidence. That's coherence. Your vibration attracted realities that match the frequency you embodied. The same is true when you wake up anxious. The world seems heavy because you're tuned into a timeline where resistance dominates. Frequency shifting begins with awareness, but it deepens through feeling. You can't think your way into a higher vibration, you must feel your way there. Emotion is the language of the field. Every emotion carries a vibrational signature, and the universe responds instantly to that signature. When you consciously generate the feeling of what you desire, peace, love, freedom, without needing outer proof, you're tuning your frequency to that version of reality. The key is to embody the energy of the end result before it manifests. This is what mystics and quantum teachers have always known. The outer world is not the cause, it's the effect. If you wait for external conditions to change before you shift your frequency, you're creating from delay. But if you shift your vibration first, the outer must follow. That's the law of resonance. Here's how you can feel it in real time. Imagine something that brings you genuine peace, maybe the warmth of sunlight on your skin or the quiet stillness after rain. Feel that sensation fully. Let it expand through your chest, into your breath, into your entire body. Don't force it, simply allow it. That gentle feeling of peace is alignment. That is the frequency of your higher self. When you hold it long enough, it stabilizes, and your outer life begins to reflect it. But the formula doesn't end here. Awareness and frequency create the conditions for alignment, but true instant alignment occurs when you enter quantum synchronization, the moment when you and your desired reality become indistinguishable. Quantum synchronization, becoming the timeline at the quantum level, there are infinite versions of reality, all existing simultaneously. Every possibility you could ever imagine already exists in the field. You don't manifest by creating something new, you manifest by aligning with the version that already exists. Quantum synchronization is the merging point between your current vibration and the timeline of your desired state. To understand this, imagine two radio stations. One is playing the static of doubt and resistance. The other is broadcasting peace, joy, and freedom. Both stations are broadcasting right now, but you can only hear one at a time. The moment you tune your dial, your experience shifts, not because the other station disappeared, but because you've synchronized with a new frequency. That's exactly how timelines work. Quantum synchronization happens when your internal state and your external focus become one. You no longer think about alignment. You are alignment. There's no more separation between me now and the version of me who is already aligned. You've merged the two. And because the quantum field is holographic, the moment your vibration matches that version, the outer world adjusts instantly. The people, opportunities, and synchronicities aligned with that frequency begin to appear without force. In this state, action becomes inspired rather than forced. You stop asking, "What should I do?" and begin sensing, "What feels aligned to move toward?" Your intuition leads, your body follows, and your mind supports rather than controls. You enter a state of flow where time bends, opportunities appear, and outcomes feel effortless. You've synchronized with the rhythm of creation itself. Quantum synchronization is not about trying to maintain a perfect vibration every moment. It's about trusting the natural intelligence of the field. Even when you dip into resistance, awareness brings you back. Even when emotions arise, they move through you like waves instead of defining you. You realize that alignment was never fragile, it was eternal. When you reach this understanding, manifestation stops being a practice and becomes a way of being. You no longer do alignment, you live it. You stop waiting for results because you recognize that you already are the result. The frequency of alignment is self-sustaining. The more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. This is the essence of the quantum formula for instant alignment. Awareness dissolves illusion. Frequency shift activates the vibration of your higher self. Quantum synchronization locks that vibration into your timeline. Together, they form a living equation that works instantly because it operates outside of time. The universe doesn't wait, it responds the moment you align. Every new awareness, every elevated emotion, every surrendered breath is an instant manifestation. The moment you feel the shift, reality begins to reorganize itself around you. So when you feel yourself drifting into resistance, remember this: you are only ever one breath away from alignment. You don't need to earn it, seek it, or prove it. You only need to return to awareness, feel the frequency, and allow the synchronization to happen. The formula is not a secret, it's a reflection of your true nature. Now that you've felt the mechanics of instant alignment, the next question becomes, how do you live from that space? How do you stabilize this frequency in your daily life? Not just during meditation, but in every conversation, every challenge, every decision. Because the ultimate power of alignment isn't in finding it once. It's in becoming it again and again until it's your natural state. Let's move into that space next. When you begin to live in alignment, life feels lighter, as if the universe is breathing with you. The resistance fades and everything starts to flow in divine rhythm. You no longer chase, you attract effortlessly. You speak less, but every word carries energy. You act less, but every action ripples through the field with precision. This is the art of quantum harmony, where your energy leads and matter follows. Every choice, every breath becomes an act of conscious creation, and you finally realize, alignment isn't the destination. It's the frequency of being home within yourself. And now we return to the stillness from which all of this began. You've journeyed through awareness, through the recognition of misalignment, through the quantum mechanics of frequency and synchronization, and now you arrive back at the simplest, most profound realization of all. You were never out of alignment. You only believed you were. The quantum formula doesn't give you something new. It helps you remember what has always been true. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the quiet hum of energy within your body. That gentle pulse is life itself, infinite, intelligent, timeless. It doesn't rush, it doesn't chase, it simply is. That's alignment. The same energy that spins galaxies and creates stars is the same energy breathing you right now. You are not separate from the universe you seek to align with. You are its expression. You are the field, made visible through consciousness. The old paradigm taught us to chase, to work harder, think harder, manifest faster. But the deeper you journey into awareness, the more you see that everything you desire is already here, vibrating in the unseen space between your thoughts. Alignment was never about effort. It was always about remembrance. It's remembering that peace is your home frequency, that abundance is your natural rhythm, that love is your original vibration. The more you rest in this remembrance, the more effortlessly life unfolds. You stop seeking signs from the universe because you become the sign. Synchronicities no longer surprise you. They feel like normal conversations with the field. The separation between me and the universe dissolves. You begin to live as one continuous flow of awareness, watching life move through you with precision and grace. This is the quantum center, the still point where all timelines converge. From this center, nothing feels urgent, nothing feels missing. You begin to sense that everything in your reality is simply reflecting your inner state. When you are calm, the outer world organizes itself in harmony. When you are in trust, doors open effortlessly. The outer becomes a living mirror of the inner, and alignment becomes a natural law instead of a daily goal. In this place of stillness, even challenges become sacred. The moments that once made you contract now become opportunities to expand. You start seeing each difficulty as a teacher in disguise, each delay as divine timing. You begin to realize that the universe never says no, it only says not from this vibration. So instead of forcing your will, you shift your frequency, and what once felt impossible suddenly aligns. Living from the quantum center changes the way you relate to everything. You stop looking for proof and start feeling truth. You stop comparing your journey to others because you understand that every soul vibrates at its own rhythm. You no longer need validation because alignment itself becomes your confirmation. When you are aligned, you feel it, the quiet certainty that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And so, this formula, awareness, frequency, and synchronization, becomes less of a practice and more of a rhythm. It's the dance of being human and divine all at once. You don't have to remember it step by step, it remembers you. Every breath, every pause, every conscious moment reactivates it naturally. Take a slow, deep breath. With every inhale, you align deeper with your true frequency. With every exhale, you release everything that was never yours to carry. Feel yourself returning to your natural vibration, the one that existed before fear, before doubt, before the noise of the world. That vibration has always been here, waiting for you to notice. The next time you find yourself feeling off, remember this. Alignment doesn't come from fixing, it comes from feeling. You are one breath away from shifting your entire reality. You are one thought away from tuning into peace. You are one heartbeat away from remembering who you really are. The field responds not to your effort but to your awareness. The moment you remember, reality begins to reorganize itself instantly. And so, as you open your eyes to this moment, understand that alignment isn't something that ends with this video. It's the way your soul moves through time. You are always aligning, always evolving, always rediscovering yourself in new forms. The quantum field is listening to your every vibration, and it loves you without condition. You are the formula. You are the field. You are the alignment you've been seeking. And as you move through your life from this knowing, everything around you will begin to reflect the coherence you hold within. Every conversation, every coincidence, every silent moment will whisper the same truth back to you. You were never out of alignment, only out of remembrance. So take this energy with you now. Let it ripple through your thoughts, your actions, your days. Walk as the aligned version of yourself, not because you're trying to become someone new, but because you've finally remembered who you've always been. The quantum formula has done its work. It has brought you home to yourself. And from this moment forward, every breath, every choice, every heartbeat is an expression of that infinite alignment within you.